What's up guys, it's Black In back with part 3 of RAGL In review. This time we have Unano. He was the 9th and 10th games I played all in one day, so I'm sure Unano would have loved to have played me earlier when I was a little bit less warmed up. That's alright, we are on Overlook. This is another I Like Min map. I actually think it's my least favorite of some of the recent ones he's made. I think Elevation would probably be my favorite. Duskwood was also really solid, but I like Elevation just a little bit more better. This one, I mean, I do like the oil derricks and the communication, or the communication centers that are going on there. I think that's kind of a unique thing. And like the oil derrick that's really far away in the back is kind of cool too. But the general layout is kind of in my opinion. I feel like Soviets, especially Ukraine with parabombs, and only having mammoth tanks, just kind of get hemmed in a little bit. It's such a tall map that, you know, rotating across with heavy tanks or mammoth tanks is kind of hard to do. Not exactly the greatest thing in the world, so you know, it's just an okay map. It doesn't play bad or anything, it's just not my favorite. And in this allied skewed league recently, I just think that makes Soviets a little bit worse, but that's okay. As fortunately, I'm very slow on my build order right now, and you can see that my Conyard is completely idle, which is not a great thing at all. So quick taking build is not going to happen for this game. I've been doing it a bunch of these last previous games, but that's all right. Also just neglecting that comm center for now, just going for that old derrick because, you know, more money is better. But yeah, that was quite a long time before I realized that I screwed up my build queue, so that's not great. But I guess that kind of leads me into talking about the difference between being rusty and being warmed up. I do think there are differences and they do share some few things, but being rusty is typically like, I feel like that's more mechanical. You know, a little bit of it is like your game sense and tempo, which seems to go out the window when you don't have when you are rusty, rather. Like forming concaves, that's definitely a mechanical thing, and that seems to go out the window. Like your timings for like build orders a little bit is rusty. Just like your general game sense is highly reliant on like the tempo and stuff of the game and knowing like where your opponent's going to be. That's all rusty stuff. Whereas like being warmed up is like more of like your APM stuff. So, you know, target firing on your correct units with tanks and everything, or rockets, stop command, having your harvesters micro correctly is more of a warmed up thing. And then they both definitely have some builder stuff, like, you know, your APM of constantly having your FGQ running is definitely a warmed up thing, but also just like understanding how long you can like play around with your units in the field before you have to drop that ref is more of like a rusty thing. So yeah, missing my second ref there for a long time before I finally figured it out, that's like a combination of both for sure. That's not exactly great, but it's alright. It just means no more quick tank build for me this time. I'm gonna have to play a little bit more standard, and I mean, even then, like, I have an SD queued up right now, but one of the things I like to do when I do screw up a build order like that is just to kind of do something similar to what Angel will do. We'll just get up to like a bunch of Raxes, skip the SD and go for light vehicles for a while. That should give me an army advantage, you know, and if I can, you know, win 1 or 2 battles quickly and early, that'll kind of even out the game, because I'll be very behind in build order timing and like probably economically wise, but you know, having that army advantage will put pressure on people that way. So I'm gonna have my 4th harvester coming out after that ref goes down on that gem mine. That'll be nice and neat. That'll give me a lot of eco really quick since there's that gem mine there. And just casually scan around the map. I think I have 1 or 2 rifles somewhere around there that I'm trying to just poke at, you know, a little bit. We're just gonna queue up a bunch of these light tanks, cancel that SD, get up to at least 5 racks, so probably a little bit less, maybe 4 or 5, just depending on what the power requirement's going to be. Another thing I like to do on this map is just place some concrete walls down on the backside by the gem mine. I don't think they actually ever have come into play, but you know, if you can choke off a map a little bit and just prevent, you know, a tank flank or something like that with concrete walls, it's a $400 thing that will save you countless amounts of eco. So yeah, I'm just chilling my base right now. You know, I've got a flak there, so I got a medic, so I'm not super scared. In fact, I have a light tank too, so if he sticks around with that flak, it's going to be a bad time for him, which he does, but he has really good control of it and instantly pulls it away. I'm losing a rifle scout somewhere. I think it was my civilians that were in the middle, so yeah, I don't have a whole lot of eyes on. I got 1 rifle on my expansion that I'm going to expand to. I'm not sure if it's better to go that way or towards the top. I think my war factor is honestly kind of in between. Had it been more towards the south, it probably would have more sense to go south, but Just with the walls too, I guess going south first makes a little bit more sense for me, but finally got a big army out, so, you know, I'm going to move out. Also trying to scout with that top light tank, see if I can capture his oil there, because that'll be nice too. But yeah, I have about maybe another minute before my eco runs dry. I've already mined out all my gems. My harvesters on my ore patch are definitely getting pretty close, so now's about that time where if I don't take a battle in my favor really soon, I'm just going to be kind of in bad shape overall. Got my SC out, so canceling those light tanks, getting into an MCV, and then queuing up more Raxes, which is probably honestly the last thing I need. I probably should be queuing up like maybe like a War Factory or something like that, just something that will... Actually, no, War Factory would be bad too. I don't want to spend extra money right now because I'm gonna run out of cash really soon, but I got this nice big attack going on at his expo, and you know, if he's expanded here, this could be really good. And I do see that he has expanded there, so focus on the power because, you know, he might be low power instantly. And I see a bunch of infantry there, and I try to go in for the crushes. Unfortunately, my light tanks decide that they don't want to really crush, and I basically lost 4 or 5 light tanks for nothing there. Have to instantly pull that infantry back, and yeah, that's the exact opposite I want. That was couldn't have gone poorly. A little bit of lucky here that Unano is slowly trailing, and you know, he's only got that 1 tank in front, and I'm just on a stop command there, so I'm gonna trade out probably a little bit better than I should, but he has another tank coming in. If I can kill that other tank, that'll be really good, but yeah, I'm losing a lot of assets there. That was not the attack I needed. I still got a 3k float, and I'm trying to get that MCD down there, but I'm in a really bad spot now. I think if Unano just pushes me, I'd probably lose. But one of the things that Unano is actually quite bad about, I think, is pressing his lead. I think when he does have a lead, like he does now in this game, he'll tend to sit back, maybe try to smother you, which isn't necessarily wrong. It's totally a valid playstyle, but you can't just let somebody come back into the game. You know, if you're too passive, that can definitely be a problem. And I feel like, you know, has that unfortunate side effect of tending to be too passive when he has a lead like that. But, you know, still haven't got attacked yet, so I'm just moving that MCV down closer. Light tank sees it expanded to the top, so that's kind of unfortunate for me too. That means he's at least, you know, macroing up on the back end of things. Now I'm completely broke. Tries 32 harvesters down. My War Factor rally point is way out of position, and he's all the way at the top, and I have basically a pillbox right there right now. I'm not going to rotate my army on the bottom to the top just because it's not going to get there in time, and I want him to think, you know, that I have this army down here, you know, and maybe try to go into a base trade. But I think this is a scenario where, you know, if Unano does attack right now, I would probably be in a lot of trouble and probably just lose. And I got this little tank flank with the light tank over there and the 4 rockets. 4 rockets by themselves is probably way too much. Probably need a few rifles just to help them because they're not going to last very long. Move at the bottom army, and then right now he attacks in, and he sees 1 pillbox, and he sees some army, and he's pretty much killed me right there. I don't have any rockets left. Another pillbox comes down, and it's pretty far back, so it's getting some, but it's unfortunately not infantry. It's shooting that heavy tank. But then he pulls back for some reason, and I think he got really scared. I think maybe he saw that I pulled that army in the bottom to the top, or thought, you know, he waited too long. But that's kind of exactly what I mean by, you know, not pressing advantage there. Definitely had more than enough to just roll through my main base there. So now that I do have an expansion and I'm floating a little bit, or I'm going to start floating rather soon, I'm going to try to transfer into tech, because again, I don't have the army advantage anymore, I don't have the economic advantage anymore, so the only other advantage I could eke out is a tech advantage, unless these eco raids go really well. But I also see with the comp center that he's rotating down to the bottom. Attacking Eddie here, but he's already aware of it with an army plus a flame tower, so it's not worth engaging in there. I'll just pull the army back. You know, no reason to sacrifice it if I can. Those rockets at the top, not doing so great. And I saw that Inyano was following me out there, so, you know, I'll happily take an engagement away from your vision and your harvesters, and I think I'm trading it out okay here. You know, if I can kill that heavy tank, I'll probably actually win this engagement. And then unfortunately a second heavy tank comes in, but, you know, I'm still pretty much killing all of his infantry there, so that was not terrible. That probably helped me eke out a little bit better army advantage or disadvantages that I have. And then continuing that tech advantage, just going to go straight from tier 2 to tier 3. Unano is not a fan of Tanya, and I understand why, but, you know, if I can abuse Tanya's mechanics a little bit to get back into the game, then I'm going to, because, you know, you got to be a little bit competitive. But once again, trying to move out with the whole army, and I actually got a really good angle here on Unano. He's got 3 heavy tanks, and I have 4 medium tanks, which is nice. One of his heavy tanks is already down, second one's down, third one's about to go down. My tanks are in really good position, so that probably swung me back into even army with him, so that was really lucky on my part. I don't even think that was necessarily a bad, like, angle for United to attack. It's just I happen to catch him at the perfect timing. So I'm still pushing in here, killing another heavy tank and another heavy tank. So that's 5 heavy tanks down for, I think, 3 of my medium tanks. And, you know, doing the smart thing of capturing those husks, because that's easily going to help me get back to the army advantage. Spending $500 for a mechanic and getting an 850 tank back, or 1150 with a heavy tank, is absolutely worth it. You should always be doing that if you can. I know it's a hard thing to get into the habit of, but that's probably a sign of me being not as rusty as I would be if this was, you know, game 1 or 2, and maybe a little bit less stressed if it was against Rizar. But yeah, using mechanics like that, medics are also really good for allies. Using those little support assets that you can is a huge part of keeping yourself alive. Tier 3 is finally out, and that means it's Tanya time. Always have to build that second power plant after you build the tech center as allies, just because it sucks to advance power plants down, basically. But the only thing I got going against me right now is I'm about to run out of eco again. I really should be expanding more. But honestly, I'm a little scared too, playing in this game Nano. Like, yeah, I just did have a decent advantage, and now I have Tanya, so I'm going to be a little bit more bold moving out. But I know that Nano expanded to the top way before I was able to, and if, you know, he was smart and kept up that macro lead and he just expanded, he could have easily taken my expansion. And so I can't really move out until I'm aware, or at least scout it. Unfortunately, he kills Tanya with the Yak, definitely cost efficient. And, you know, I'm going to have an okay engagement here, but I just don't have the army mass actually, and I feel like he's once again, especially with those good V2 shots, he's swinging the army advantage back in his side. So once again, I'm dead on the bottom, and I'm broke again, so it's not looking good for me anymore. Gonna go right back to Tanya, because, you know, that's probably the only thing that's gonna save you if you push it on the bottom again. But I do have a decent force up top. It's very light on rockets actually. I think there's only 4 of them, which is not great, but I do have Raider Jammer, and, you know, Raider Jammers are another support unit that will swing an engagement. But this stock army is allowing me to move out my main MCV, and I should be safely able to take that expansion. The Raider Jammer unfortunately took a V2 rocket to the face, which it does not deflect, but that's in better position now. And then my tanks get a little too far forward, and, you know, the weird thing is those rockets, if you saw them, just landed completely on that Raider Jammer. I'm not sure what was up with that, but that was kind of frustrating. I mean, it wasn't going to change the engagement necessarily. I still was probably going to lose it, but, you know, that could have helped me whittle out a little bit more. And yeah, that definitely made me a little salty, and I'm not sure why the Raider Jammer didn't deflect those rockets. And maybe it was just pure luck, because, you know, they're going to go somewhere, and the chances that they get deflected right onto the tank is, I guess, not negligible. So yeah, this is me being a little salty right there, because that was kind of weird and unfortunate. And so once again, I'm deeply down in army value after those 2 engagements. But once again, you know, is playing me really passively. You know, he's not even flanking me on the bottom or anything like that, or at least not that I can see. So I'm just I'm going to start spamming out refs, because I really need eco. I'm pretty much maxed on at Raxes. I only have 1 War Factory, and that's honestly better for me, because I just need to stabilize my eco. So it's going to be nothing but Raxes. And, you know, I did build the Chronosphere super early, and I feel like Allies players are underutilizing the Chronosphere, honestly. It's definitely worth it. And for some reason, that civilian that I saw naturally on the field there made me realize that I probably should use in Spies too. Spies are another great way to get back in the game. And it goes in, he tries to kill that ref, unfortunately doesn't commit and does not get the last burst there. And then he goes back one more time, and I don't think I actually saw it, but his Yak turned away right as it ran out of ammo, and so it missed the refinery. He's trying to Yak crash onto it. So that kind of sucks for him. Chronosphere is ready, so now I'm going to be annoyed, and he's going to have to deal with turrets in his backlines the entire rest of the game, unless he kills a Chronosphere. Also got a Longbout, so I'm going to kill that Yak coming in the bottom. Tanya's right here, and this is unfortunately a very bad engagement for him. He doesn't have a Yak to kill the Tanya, and I have all the armor and everything I need there. Start queuing up those turrets so I can start that base push properly, and I'm even going to drop a ref down because, you know, might as well steal your eco while I can. He does finally have a Yak come in, but I saw it with my GPS, and unfortunately he does not get the target fire on the Tanya, and she lives, and so that arm is going to get completely cleaned up. Even dropping a barracks over there to switch up my queues, and so yeah, that's a lot of his eco that he has to be aware of now that I'm focusing there, so that's unfortunate for him. And again, GPS is just so great as allies. You know, I can instantly see where his army's moving out. I saw the little little small detachment there behind by my concrete wall that I'm just going to clean up. And I'm not sure where that spy was supposed to be going. I think he was supposed to go to a ref or something like that, and he got distracted, but he ended up being a good scout too. He finally does snipe my Tanya with another yak, but, you know, that's 2 yaks to 1 Tanya is definitely not worth it, unfortunately, so I'll take that trade any day. Longbow scouts that he has eventually started trying to do a flank on the bottom, but again, I've just been spamming out refs, so, you know, losing the ref on the bottom, not a big deal. He's trying to attack into here, but I have pillboxes, 2 turrets, and a bunch of rifles, so, yeah, he's going to kill some of the turrets, but those rifles are probably going to clean up the rest of them, and I'll have another Tanya coming out. Tanya coming out on the bottom, just because I knew that that attack was coming, and this is kind of what I mean about the Mammoth Tank's kind of not being great on this map. I feel like he probably built that Mammoth Tank probably close to 2 minutes ago, and it's just now getting there, so that's unfortunate for him. So yeah, now that I have this back expansion kind of killed off, we're probably more even on the economic front than I was about 5 minutes ago. I saw with the GPS too that he hadn't really taken hold of that middle expansion either, so yeah, this is starting to look a little bit bleak for Unana. Like, definitely he's still in control of this game here. But I'm being really annoying with all this stuff. Like, he's losing a lot of assets just attacking the back there. I find a great angle on the bottom. I'm even being cheeky with some Chronosphere onto his infantry, and that Raider Jammer's actually being really nice to deflect those beam tanks this time. Does have an Ice Seed Mammoth Tank, but, you know, I just have so much assets there, I'm not super worried. I forgot about that flank on the bottom a little, but that's alright. I just don't think there was too much there. And his IC is about to run out, so once it does, that Mammoth Tank is not going to be long for this world. But I think I had a bad move command there. But that's alright. I got a spy into the barracks, so that's nice. That means I'm going to get vetted infantry, and vetted infantry are always great. Dropping another ref on the back one, and gotta be careful. He had a pair drop on the bottom that I miss. Or not on the bottom, on the top there on the ref. But, you know, that's fine. I'm finally doing okay on eco, especially because I keep going back and stealing his ore in the back. Moving that MCV towards the middle with my army. Just gonna try to drop a turret on his ore patch there, and maybe claim it for myself later. I was a little careless on that harvester. Probably shouldn't have lost it. Could have easily sold that ref. And, you know, that's just me not being as playing as well as I could. Tanya's somewhere on the bottom. I think I threw her in the pillbox for that attack, and I kind of forgot about it. That's why I kept trying to build her, but fortunately I have another ref there, so that harvester's going to get away. And using this longbow to kind of scout, sees he's moving the MCV away. I'm not going to be able to kill it, but maybe I can poke at these Mammoth Tanks with the longbow there. Unfortunately, did not have the acid squish through there, and he's going to be able to clean it up with the Mammoth Tanks army he has there. But Mammoth Tanks are susceptible to turrets if you can get them in high enough numbers, and, you know, overrated jammers make Mammoths a lot more neuter than they could be. Little flank here on the bottom. Moving in with the Blackhawks, just spoke at the refinery, and these are probably his only 2 MCVs, so if, you know, if I can kill those, that's a pretty good win. Once again, attacking on the bottom, but unfortunately my infantry was targeting that MCV, and they all walked to their death. That's alright. I still killed a harvester on the bottom, and then I see his IC there, and I'm like, alright, yeah, that's a great grab. I'll take that easily. Thinking about Kronos and the 2 harvesters, and then I decide against it, because, you know, one of them is going to die to the Turtleuse, and I don't want to give him extra armor in this engagement right here. Tiny's going to C4 that IC. It's a nice little grab. C4 that MCV too, because why not? She barely gets it off, and then the Axe Killer. And 5D brain right there, chronoing away that MCV. Dropping rough because I can, even though the harvester doesn't even want to do anything. So yeah, Unano is he's kind of struggling now. He's definitely down on the economic front again. His army front's actually pretty low. He's got a lot of, you know, tier 3 assets with the Mammoth Tanks and everything, but again, yeah. Then the zero brain chest of not undeploying the NFC, so it instantly died. It was a good try, but I'm a little stretched out. Then there's a lot going on in this game, which made it really fun because, you know, when you're rusty, it's just all heck break loose, and you're just trying to go as fast as you can, even though your brain is just not keeping up. Finally recognizing that I have these static harvesters doing nothing, try to reestablish my rally point over there, since I did see a few of his stuff going back there with the GPS. Trying to figure out which ones are Blackhawks and which ones are longbows, since they do look super similar. And yeah, I realize I probably need another MCV since I'm down to 1 again. So because I'm doing these chrono shenanigans, I'm actually going to build 2 MCVs. very dangerous for me to do that since I am very light on army right now. I have a Tanya and 2 Raider Jammers basically my name, but see a Harvester go down there. He's got MIGs out. MIGs are great. Harvester Rasting Tool, unfortunately. Longbows and Mobile Raider Jammers and AA guns kind of shut down MIGs, so he's finally going to attack me on the back, but unfortunately his Mammoth Tank is not in position, and I'll happily take that engagement. With the 2 pillboxes in the turret there, I should probably be able to hold just fine. Kind of need to fix my eco again since I am stalling. Unit does have more than half the map since he did have the center mine, but again, I also have denied his back mine on the top right, so we're actually probably even there. Unfortunately, he killed my ref, so that Harvester decides it wants to go to his death. That's right, I'll just go harass with that infantry detachment there on his gem mine. And waiting for this Chronosphere to tick down. I see that Mammoth Tank rolling in, so once again, that Comm Center actually playing a big part. Lose another Harvester there, that's not great. But I do have 3 Blackhawks and 4 Longbows, so that's probably more than enough to deal with it. Do lose 1 Blackhawk since it was that kind of I don't know, that's not great. But I do get the other 2 away, which is nice. I think he had some little attack there on the back. I think it was actually something, but I'm probably going to get his Harvester there, which is good. And since really all I need is more refs, I'm just going to keep building refs at this rate. That's kind of another key. Unfortunately, he goes in right as I go back there, so I move that MC away just a little bit. Don't want it to be visible to him. And 3 pillboxes will kill that Mammoth Tank, although probably will get at least 1, but sell those refineries off since he has got a large force there, and I'm not going to be able to save him. And he's doing a good job of, these little flank attacks, but he's slowly, I think, losing ground to it. Losing a longbow there, that's not great. Probably going to lose another Harvester unless he pulls back, which he does, so I got lucky there. And 3rd MCV's out now. It's just kind of in the middle of no man's land for now, but that's alright. I just need to get some more refs out, which I'm building, and I'll probably be okay again. Finally sending a chopper back to the SD, and I think actually missed. That's terrible. But yeah, Tanya comes, and I have 2 Raider Jammers, so that Mammoth Tank's not going to do anything. Probably could have killed her if he actually turned into her, but it's actually super hard to do. Got very lucky there that somehow those Tusk missiles did not kill the Tanya, but he tries to go in with the Yak. Unfortunately, I was moving across the longbows, and he even tries to bait me into his Mammoth Tanks, which was a good idea. Fortunately, air is a little bit too fast for him. Got another flank on that back one, and I realized that my other army died, and there was some ore in that gem mine, so that means I killed the Harvester. He does a good job here of finding the Harvester. Unfortunately, it's 1 of 4 on a 2 ore mine, so it really didn't do much of anything at all. His slots are there. He's also got flax out, which is good. That'll counter the longbows a little bit. And then he tries to be a little cheeky here. Try to parry bomb and kill my tech center since he had eyes on it, but unfortunately that Blackhawk just has enough ammo left to kill the 2 rockets, so that tech center is going to be fine. Drop another AA gun there because I can. Makes me realize I need to get some power back because I'm only at 27. And eventually going to realize that I probably should move this extra MCV I have up to the top again. Build another AA gun there, drop another ref, because why not? And realize that army detachment was just kind of sitting there chilling nothing. I don't think it's going to War Factory. If I was more on top of it, could have. 60 brain chest this time. Gonna send the MCV right onto the SD after I chrono it, so it'll be fine. It should heal up. Probably close to halfway, if not full, which is how quickly light vehicles heal, so. Moving that 3rd MCV back to the top, still building the refs. And then that MCV is gonna appear right about now. Oh, perfect. Look at that, comes back. Did not instantly deploy it, which kind of sucks, and the Yak almost killed it. And then I don't know how I managed to build a gap generator. That's the word I got. Damn, I suck. Gap generator. That was supposed to be an AA gun, but it's alright. Unfortunately, he has a lot of assets there. He's finally dealing with that corner, but to be an annoying little bane, I'm just going to move that MC away, and Mammoth Tanks are probably not faster than MCVs, so the MC is probably going to get it away. Another little flank here on the bottom. And yeah, I've got 4 longbows that I probably should have been using a little bit more effectively, but that's okay. He's finally going to root out my base in the back there, but in order to do that, he's going to have to give up ground somewhere else, so I'm finally going to just take it to him in a single ore patch in the middle. Longbows are killing out flame towers because, it's an easy little thing to do. Kill the Harvester down there, going to kill the ref and then back out. And then, yeah, just dropping AA guns everywhere pretty much at this rate. And getting on top of this, killing his power, that's great. That MCV snuck away. and drop another ref there. So there's 2 flaks there in the back. That's alright. Got some Blackhawks. Should be able to kill him. If I'm not sloppy, I might lose one. But I'll give you a spoiler right now. I am sloppy and I'm going to lose one because that's like a thing that I should be better at, but I did not. So lose the Blackhawk there to this thing. That's alright. MCV is unfortunately going to get away. Don't have quite the numbers to track down there, but yeah, I think I'm starting to look in a really good position here. Although unfortunately that attack right there not going so well. But yeah, I'm just spamming out refs because again, what else am I going to do? I could be building more ore factories, which probably just due to the eco situation I have is not actually advised at all. And I got 2 rockets left here, and then probably my second worst chronosphere is sending a single medium tank to die. Maybe if I just moved it with the radar jammers there, it probably would have lived longer, but that's okay. This little attack here on the back has killed his harvester again, so it's time to move that 3rd MC out, send it back. The radar jammer just got out of dodge because it wasn't doing anything else. And I'm starting to deathball pretty hard here. I have, you know, quite a number of medium tanks with MCV support, and my Blackhawks and longbow support is really hard to deal with as a Soviet player. He tracks down the little army in the back, but that's alright. I'll happily just trade away what I can there. Still got that MCV there if I really wanted anyways, so. Another spy because I realized I never grabbed my vehicle veterancy, which is also important. And this game's gone on long enough that I even decided to build a nuke, so that's quite nice. I saw that yak, and I think he was looking for my Tanya. Unfortunately, he did not see her, so he went for rockets, and it goes down. I think killing the Tanya is obviously the better play there. Got to get some more power plants because I'm constantly running out of those. That spy should be totally fine, although there is a mammoth tank there. It actually might get crushed, but I can see on the minimap that it is not, and it's going to get into there. So vetted up medium tanks are pretty nice. They still suck versus heavy tanks. You know, that 10% extra armor and everything. See, as I see there with 4 Blackhawks, and you know, this time I am better on it. I'm not going to lose a single Blackhawk. Going to kill his IC. Fortunate for me, it was just a little slow, and he managed to IC that MCV at the top. But yeah, that MCV tried to get some crushes. It did not get some crushes, and now it's going to try to run away. But I'm okay with that. You know, I've got a huge armor right there. I don't think he has the arm to deal with that. And getting to the point where I'm going to just drop a ref anywhere I can. So I chop a ref on the backside there. Need to build some power. Really just need to build 4 or 5 of those and just not lose them. Yak gets the Matanya this time. Unfortunately, it goes down. And it gets the radar jammer too, which is kind of a big deal. I really could use that radar jammer. That's right. I still have a pretty big army. And Tanya's going to be back up in 10 seconds because that's how annoying she is. And then I was waiting for his MCV to deploy, catch it with the Chronosphere, and easily kill it. I was kind of hoping that I could double tech here, so I built the barracks, and then my idea was to transfer the mechanic into it. Pair bombs, unfortunately for him, I think that's the second one he's used this entire time, which is kind of crazy, but did not get as much armor as they could have. And I'm having a pretty good engagement here. Got the barracks down, trying for the mechanic. Unfortunately, husks that are Chronosphere will go back to the original spot, so that husk, even though I teleported it away, went right back to where it was. That mechanic's not going to get there, unfortunately, and I wasn't microing my army very well, so lost the army up top. But that's okay. I have a huge army at the bottom now, and kind of sitting here in the middle. Realized that GPS is a thing that I should be using, and waiting for those longbows to fill up. Gonna lose a harvester there, but that's alright, because guess what? More refs. But that turret, or the pillbox is empty because it had Tanya in there, so Blackhawk's just gonna assault move, and then realize that I have this big army in the middle, so I'm not sure what I want to do with it, if I want to go to the bottom or if I want to go to the south. So much going on right now. There's an attack going on up here that I'm kind of trying to micro. Realize that I have my GPS that I need to be using, that kind of dictates that I should probably just go to his main base. Place the turret nicely out of range of that mammoth tank so I can poke at it, and get some pillboxes because I need that for the infantry, and just so start attack moving, I guess, into his main base. The turret is doing a wonderful job of just killing that defenseless mammoth tank, and I'm starting attacking his main base, which is, you know, at least where his war factories. I don't think he ever got up to more war factories. I'm probably going to lose that hot base if I'm not careful, and due to the GPS to see that, you know, he's trying to chase me with army, but he doesn't have any vehicles there, so I'm happy to turn into him there again. He's got a para drop on the back of my harvesters, which is nice. Tanya kills all the infantry and then dies. And then I have some longbows that are going to go work on those mammoth tanks, but guess what? More refineries. As soon as I can figure out where to put them. And yeah, he doesn't have anything in his main base anymore since I killed that army, so I'm going to get his SD. That's going to go his mammoth tank production. He's going to switch back to APCs for a while. Run away a mammoth tank, just kill it. See if I can get a mechanic down on it. And yeah, that's definitely his only war factory, so if I can kill that too, that'll be great. Unana's really smart here, already changing to APCs since he knew he was going to lose his SD, but that army pretty much could have been used better, but it did do its job enough, I guess. And unfortunately that has chronoed back, so I did not get a mechanic on it, but yeah, I'm starting to look in a really good position here. I've actually stolen his gem mine for quite a while now, and again, that MC is just going to be super annoying and just move away as soon as it gets certain. We're almost halfway down on that nuke, so there's a good chance that that'll be good on. Almost sold that ref, that would have been bad, but just move a harvester off the backside that I can. And yeah, you can kind of see how crazy this game was. It's been 30 minutes. I'm pretty fatigued after this game. I know Unano's got to be pretty fatigued. It's been going back and forth for a while. Honestly, just a really crazy game, really fun game. But yeah, with the veterancy on my vehicles, unfortunately I never got a spy into his airfield. That would have been nice too to get him on my Blackhawks and everything, but just 20 queued up refs because that's all I'm building. I'm not even gonna bother building a 4th war factory or a 2nd war factory for that matter. And just being really annoying with building more turrets on his backline again, so I think the Chronosphere is honestly a huge difference in this game. I don't feel like he used IC a lot. I mean, yeah, I killed it twice. Unano didn't use parabombs a whole lot too, so he tried to use mammoth tanks, but like I said, mammoth tanks are kind of sucky on such a big map like this. But yeah, now I've got a pretty big army here. Unfortunately, his yak goes down. Trying to target fire his 2nd yak. Gonna steal more of his ore. And I'm not sure he can deal with this. I've got a pretty big army right now, and he does down an SC at least. Goes an IC on an APC, which is great. It's gonna force him back for a little bit. But killing that yak. Tanya does not get killed. He's trying to find the crush on Tanya, but unfortunately he's a little slow on there. And that was probably the 2nd worst Chronosphere of the game, just trying to chrono out that APC and then missing and just chrono my own tank. He's trying to... Yeah. Tanya was not being able to kill there, which is not great for him, unfortunately, but... Yeah, he's pretty much losing everything at this rate. There's not a whole lot he can do. And those Blackhawks just gonna go back, or longbows rather. There's even a mechanic there to keep me alive too, but I have so much medium tanks, and he's got quite a lot of army there, but I should have more than enough to push through. Blackhawks are gonna focus on the tech center, and then the longbows are gonna kill the flame towers first, because I think they're a little bit better armor that way. But he's actually having an okay engagement there, just because I wasn't microing it, but his tech center goes down. The Blackhawks are trying to push in a little bit, and then he drops a sneaky stamp site in 3, 2, 1, and I lose all those Blackhawks. They were out of ammo, so, you know, at least they did their job, but... and yeah, then MCV trying to base push, finds IC again, and hello, here's another ref, and there's a pillbox for you, so... Pillbox can't do anything but shoot at the IC, and I have 5 medium tanks that I'm just gonna go put there, so... Once again, this game was all over the place. There's the 3rd pair of bombs, unfortunately they just missed. And I probably have enough to push through there on the bottom. 2nd pillbox coming down again. So he's going to lose his IC, which is probably the last real chance he has. This game was just so wild. I think I probably stole more of Unano's ore than I harvested my own. So he says GG. And the Chrono, I think, definitely made a difference there, like I said. That was you know, it's easy to say it was a fantastic game when you win, and I think that was a really good game, but I had a lot of fun. You know, I've played games where I've been on the losing side of that too. I think, you know, like, if you watch this, which hopefully you do at some point, what really made you lose was, like, you just didn't press that advantage in the early game. Like I said, at that attack where you ran into, like, 2 pillboxes, and you got scared off with, like, 3 heavy tanks and a huge army, I think had you attacked there, you could have just won. A few more times, like, you were a little bit slow to flank. When you have the mammoth tanks to flank, you just kind of kill the harvester and that was it. And honestly, I mean, other than that, like, maybe clean up that chrono MCV a little bit, maybe have some yaks constant alert there, but that's such a hard thing to do. Chrono can be very hard to deal with, and I think it's underrated. So yeah, let's jump into game 2. All right, we're back here for game 2 against Nano. That was quite a tiring game to play. Game 9, it was quite a tiring game just to talk through the entire 30 minutes. So I ran him into Dover on this map this time, and I ran into Soviets this time, which means it is time to not do the quick tank build. You can totally do it with Soviets. Just on this map, I don't think it's actually that great, just because you have such a long distance to your expansions, and you know, if you try to go north where I'm at right now, you'd have to go over the water, which is going to slow your MCV down. If you try to go to the south, it's just kind of far away, so unfortunately the quick tank build does not work out too well, but that's okay. I have my own strategies for Dover. Yeah, it's always a gamble of which side your opponent's going to go for the oil derricks, and I think one of the things you can do with that is just to go and snipe their oil derrick. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but you know, if your opponent is trying to either 50-50 for both of those contestable oil derricks, or is just trying to hard on one, if you go and snipe their oil derrick, then they kind of recognize that they have to retreat that army and either lose the oil derrick, which you're most likely going to, or if they don't retreat that army, then I can just press in and probably grab a power plant, which would be a pretty bad deal. So unfortunately, I was a little bit slow on my build order again this time, but a lot quicker than I was last game for sure. Not going to affect it too much. I think I was probably like 10 seconds behind, so yep, just queuing up to kill his oil derrick. He's probably just now captured, and if he goes to the bottom, I have that one rifle scout there, which will be nice, and I'll just be able to save manger that way. You know, probably wait 5 seconds for his army to run away. But I see that he hasn't captured it, which was kind of weird, and I see that he's not on the bottom, so I'll be able to grab my 2 oil derricks safely, and I think about just killing this oil derrick. Send that one rifle scout up, see where his rifles are, and oh yeah, there is a bunch of rifles there, so you know, he doesn't have the vision here, so I'm just gonna try to trade out his army if I can. You know, there's no reason to kill the oil derrick and lose a bunch of army trying to kill it. If I can just, you know, get a good angle right here and let it move in just like that, then I'll probably trade decently here. And I think it was probably his last rifle right there, so you know, seeing that, I'm like, alright, cool, I guess I'll grab 3 oil derricks. Rally over some rockets over there, because there's probably going to be a light vehicle coming out, and you know, if I can save this oil derrick, especially right in front of his base, you know, that'll be a good game, or lead to a good game at least. Very scrappy game, and there might be some foreshadowing of that later on after this, but we'll never know. But I just focusing on my harvesters, just trying to micro onto the nice dense patches, selling off that ref, because you know, ref still makes the most sense in this map. There's only 2 mines at the beginning, and just gonna place that ore factory down. Gonna go APC first, just so I can support this grab on his oil derrick. You know, having the army there is gonna help me keep it alive a little bit longer. The rocket's probably gonna get there just about in time. If he went for like a ranger, I probably would be too late, but I don't think he could get the mass to kill my rifles with ranger, just because I know of how much he killed. And then I do see some rifles poking in at my top oil derrick there, but unfortunately for him, that's just in time for my APC to come out. And I get some cav luck here and instantly crush 7 rifles. And then I'm going to kill the 8th one with just the APC gun, the 9th one with gun. You know, again, understandably salty. It always sucks when you just get instant crushed like that. And then unfortunately for him, he's moving his rocket soldiers way, and that APC is getting the perfect angle to attack him, so that's 2 rockets down. Just going to retreat that APC for now. Fix that harvester before it gets on the bad rally point, and yeah, just move that APC across his back ore, see if I can poke at him a little bit. Since you only have those 2 starting mines, and if I can force a harvester off there, then that's a lot of eco damage in the beginning. But yeah, I got really lucky with that APC there. I'm surprised it's actually not vetted up. You know, you killed 9 rockets, or 9 rifles, so that's 900. And then 600, so I guess it needs like 1 more rocket and he'd be that one. But you don't see a whole lot of vetted up APCs just because they don't last very long, but fortunately, his harvester is going to get away there because I was a little far away on the attack, but you know, I'm going to go in for some more crush with the APC, and this time it decides it does not want to crush. So unfortunately that attack goes pretty badly for me, and I try to get as much away as I can. A few rockets are still left, so you know, that's nice. A little bit slow on my build order time again because I was busy microing this attack. That's okay too. I think Yano's probably pretty stressed as well, just you know, pulling back his harvester and dealing with losing his rifles early on twice with the APC crush that I had. But try to pull, I think I've tried to pull one of those rifles back, or maybe I'm doing it now just so if he is chasing, those rockets will get away, since that's really all that matters there. You know, 2 rockets sitting on your backline or patch, if you forget about them, can quickly kill a harvester. sending that MCV out to the top just because I think it's a little bit closer. Probably better to expanding backwards like where I'm at right now. I don't think is good. You're going to see ground, you know, and the middle on this map is kind of important. Those two little ore mines in the middle are where a lot of the fighting happens on this map when it does go past like 10 minutes. So, you know, if you can expand like outwards, it's always better than expanding backwards. It's kind of OpenRA 101. But gonna transfer some harvest resources. Probably gonna get there a little bit later than they could, but that's alright. And then, due to the nature of this map, I'm actually going to go into another Rax or another ref before I go into Rax macro. My MCV actually managed to see that he had an engineer coming there, so that was nice and fortunate. Drop a ref, and then instantly move out that main MCV. That's kind of how this map goes. You just drop the refs on these back ones, and then you kind of push to the middle, since you know you are gonna probably lose that ref eventually, so to a random army rotation. But you don't want a whole lot of assets there. You don't want to leave your MCV there. Just control this middle and makes the game a lot easier to play. So those rockets and one rifle on the back do see the Azure Harvester there, so you know did expand backwards, probably less favorable, but did see they pulled that harvester off, so I'm just gonna retreat those for now. And then, yeah, that's probably his only expansion, so I figure if I can just base push him right there, that'll be, honestly pretty nice. Just gotta get this army in a little bit better position, because those tanks were behind, and that heavy tank is still struggling for some reason. Unfortunately, his rifle and oil derrick do see me with the MCV there, and I'm gonna lose an engineer because I'm careless, but he definitely should have seen the MCV, maybe he missed it. But it's kind of weird. I think he realizes it now that I have a flame tower there. But he has a really good attack here, since my armor is on the wrong side. But unfortunately for him, he's not getting really good crushes so far. He's lost 3 APCs. Finally gets some decent crushes. And he's going to be able to clean up. But I killed a lot of his armor too, so I'll take that. And now we're in a very weird situation where it's base push MCV against MCV. You don't see this type of scenario too often, especially like in that area of the map, I guess. But, you know, I have plenty of harvesters and macros, so now it's time to get some racks up there and get that economic macro department, rather, not economic. And, yeah, I've got flame towers here, I've got a decent position. His MCV is barely gonna get trapped. Super unlucky there, but still manages to get away. But now it's gonna be who has the better control between flame tower micro or just enough mass to do it. And, flame towers, when you get them stacked up like that, are pretty brutal. I have secondary army here, and it's too far away to reinforce, so I'm just going to send it on the backwards run, but yeah, I've got plenty of flame towers. He's doing still a pretty good job. His last APC is going to go down, that's going to make a difference. Now he just has flax. I can't run that MC away because of that flax, so now it's just a battle of flame towers and kind of managing my infantry queue to pull them out, so as long as they're safe. But the flame tower right there, they're good, except for that APC crushes all of them. But I see that, so I have to re-rally my racks down to the south. And that'll, you know, give me an extra little DPS from the rifles. And then, I realized that Inano does not have rockets here, and I'm not sure what the hell happened to his queue. It looks like he just had a bad queue select and, built only rifles, so yeah, that's unfortunate for him. I think he finally realizes that he never built rockets there, and he's got a few of them now, but, you know, 3 flame towers versus a few rockets is not enough, and once again, when they are stacked, they are so powerful. He's built a bunch of flax too, which is, I guess, not what he needs. But yeah, as soon as those flame towers get built, I target the rockets. This attack on the back is going really well. I already killed 2 harvesters, probably going to kill 3 and 4, because Nano is completely focused in the front. And pretty much all of his rockets got burnt down there. So that was a good example of how effective flame towers can be when they're grouped up, and how effective target fire is if you are good with your defenses there. I think that really swung the engagement, and that was a very weird game. Yeah, so managed to Unano, so that was nice. Every win I get is important this season, since it was such a weird season for me. So I'll see y'all next week.